because we know we're going to get busy. We know people are going to give you things, especially if you have kids. New stuff is coming in the door, whether we like it or not. So it makes sense to get ready now. Now it's going to be up to you how much time you devote to this and which of these categories that you pick. But here are some ideas to get you started.
You are listening to the Decluttering Club Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Mueller, and it's my mission to equip women to declutter their homes, their time, and their lives so that they have energy for what matters most.
You are listening to the Decluttering Club Podcast, episode number 83. We're going to talk about 10 things to declutter before the holidays. 10 things. Are you ready? So my 13-year-old son this morning, we have a whiteboard in our kitchen, and he wrote 47 days until Christmas. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's not really that much time, is it? We are here right now. I'm recording this podcast. It's the middle of November, and Christmas is a-coming. And whether you celebrate Christmas or whether you celebrate Hanukkah or another holiday, November, December is a time of celebration and holidays and get-togethers and gift giving for so many people. So it really makes sense for us to spend a little time beforehand getting ready. You all know you're going to get busy. You may have people in your house, extra people. You may have people staying. There's going to be presents coming. And so it makes a lot of sense to put a little bit of work in beforehand so that you have room for all of these activities. This is a really, really valuable activity. This will save you so much trouble later. And I know that every year after Christmas is over, and sometimes on Christmas Day, is when people start freaking out. And they think, oh my gosh, what happened? What have we done? This was a terrible mistake, because everything just gets so turned around and upside down. And in our houses get so full during that time. So let's do a little prep. Let's be a little bit more intentional and get ready for this, because we know we're going to get busy. We know people are going to give you things, especially if you have kids. New stuff is coming in the door, whether we like it or not. So it makes sense to get ready now. Now it's going to be up to you how much time you devote to this and which of these categories that you pick. But here are some ideas to get you started. Number 1, seasonal decor. I know a lot of you adore and love your decor. Well, if that is the case, you may be wanting to go and buy some new things. We got to make room for the new. Out with the old, in with the new. Even if you're not buying new things, there may be stuff that is broken, things that don't work anymore, like holiday lights that don't function properly. Maybe they're even unsafe. Spend a little time, and this is such an easy thing to do. When you are pulling out your seasonal decor, set aside anything that is broken, that you haven't used in a while, that is just no longer like what you want. This is the perfect time to give these things away if they're still in good condition. Other people can use them, and they will be so thrilled to find your unneeded decor in the thrift store or give it to your neighbors or whatever. Perfect time to do this. This is the time. You could also save this one for after the holidays, but nobody wants to do that. Like, the holidays are over and we don't want to think about holiday decor. It's hard enough to get the decorations that you did use put away after Christmas. So do yourself a favor and do that now. Number 2, guest spaces. If you have a guest room, or maybe even it's just your powder room, people are going to be coming and going in your home. Spend some time sprucing that up. Maybe you need to get rid of some of the old and tired out towels. Animal shelters, by the way, are a fantastic place to donate used linens. So maybe it's the linens. Maybe you've been using that room as a storage space. Spend a little time, make some room. I can't tell you how wonderful it is when you are able to open your home to a dear friend or relative. Like, absolutely, come and stay. We have room for you. This takes work. I'm not going to lie. It does take work, but it can be incredibly rewarding. Number 3, kitchen gadgets and utensils. That utensil drawer or your bakeware, it piles up. It really does. We add to it. And if we're not actively, intentionally taking a look and seeing what is no longer in use, those drawers are really hard to use. And kitchen space is the most valuable real estate that we have, honestly, especially if you are a cook or a baker or you have people in your kitchen, you want all that space. So take a minute. Evaluate what's in those drawers. If you're in the membership, bring your work to the Facebook group. Tell us how it's going. Let us know what you're getting rid of or what you're working on. This is work that will really, really pay off over time. And I cannot overestimate the importance of just getting rid of all of those gadgets and things in the drawers that you're not using. They're not doing you any favors. You're not helping yourself out by keeping those things. So spend some time, dig through those drawers, cupboards, and all of that kitchen space. You will be so glad you did when you are in the thick of baking and cooking and entertaining. Number 4, pantry and refrigerator, maybe the freezer. This is the time. And again, if you're doing a lot of cooking, you want to go in and see what is in the way. You're probably going to be doing a big shopping. If you're going to be cooking for a crowd, you're going to be going and getting some new things at the store. Go through your supplies. Is there a box of stuffing or some canned goods in the back of that pantry? No one's going to eat it. Now is the time to get it out the door. You might be able to donate it if it's not expired. I really do ask that you use common sense when you're donating things. A lot of times people donate the stuff that they don't want, but nobody else wants it either. So just be aware of that. Sometimes we buy food with the best of intentions, and then we just don't end up using it. And that's okay. Make some room in the pantry, clean out the fridge. And you'll be so glad that you did when you do those big shoppings and when it's time to put stuff away. Number 5, gift wrap. Oh, this is such an important one. If you have a lot of gift wrap, now is the time, because imagine if you don't. And if you have a lot of presents to wrap, you're going to find yourself at the last minute dealing with wrapping paper that nobody wants, that is probably low quality. You probably used the best stuff first. And so you're left over with this stuff that rips and tears, or it's like a weird color, or it's just not good. Or if you're anything like me, when I went through my wrapping paper a couple years ago, I found paper and ribbons and tape and stickers and all kinds of stuff that was literally ancient, like probably a good 20 years old. Nobody wants to wrap a present with that. If wrapping presents is important to you, you're not going to want to use that crappy stuff. So spend some time. That can go in the recycle. If you don't want to use it, chances are no one else wants it either. Wrapping supplies are so cheap right now. People can go to the dollar store and get something. So I really do not encourage you to donate things like that unless it's very new and in great condition. So this episode is getting long already. So I'm going to leave the next 5 items for the next episode. You're going to have to tune in next week to hear numbers 6 through 10, but that should keep you busy for a while. Let me know, which of these items are you going to focus on next? Maybe you've already done some of them. Which ones are you going to do before the holidays come? Leave me a comment wherever you find this episode, or come and find us on social and let us know. All right, we'll see you next week.
That's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a review. It would really help us to get the word out. And if you'd like to continue your decluttering journey with us, find us on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at Decluttering Club, or on our website at thedeclutteringclub.com.